Hi family, my name is Clem de la Creme. Thank you for being here with me right now. Today I'd like to talk about meditation, because meditation is not something that always comes easy for most people, myself included. When I first started meditating, I had a big difficulty trying to quiet my thoughts and trying to sit still, I only wanted to do it for 5 minutes, but I sat there and all I could do was run my thoughts constantly, and I couldn't sit still. It seemed like an eternity. And that's when one friend recommended that, I try to find some positive words or find a prayer and to focus on it line by line. So I would read a line and then I would sit and think about it for 10 minutes. No, not 10 minutes. For 10 seconds. And then I would read the next line and I think about it for 10 seconds. And then I'd read the next line. So that's how my meditation journey began. My mother, she was someone who first gave me an idea of what meditation was. And early in life, she'd have me sit with her and she'd be like, imagine you're a blade of grass and like the wind blowing and stuff. And at the time it was nice, but it never gave me any practice into continuing to stick with meditation or think about my breathing or anything. And so the next things I tried were pretty much just that, was focusing on the lines by line. And then years later, I decided I wanted to grow and I wanted to learn how to expand my meditation practices. So one weekend, I asked everybody that I came into contact with, do you meditate? How do you meditate? What works for you and what doesn't work for you? And I got a variety of different answers. And that's one of the cool things about life is everyone has so many different experiences. So when you stop somebody and ask them, you get a different perspective that you probably wouldn't have had on your own. And that weekend, man, my eyes were open. Suddenly my head was expanding into the possibilities of what meditation could look like. One girl, she was talking about using hand exercises and hand movements. So I can't remember them all, but it was an idea of like thinking about moving energy around. So she'd have her hand come up, in and and bring it down. I can't really remember, it was years ago. And then there was another guy who, they recommended having a place, a specific place where you meditate every day. It can be anywhere, but they had a spot in their home that they called their meditation shrine. And they would burn candles and burn incense and, put little special objects that meant something to them. And, they would be there every day. And they told me the person who got them involved with that practice had a meditation garden in Hawaii, and he showed me a picture. And it had like this nice, seated cushion area, but it was surrounded by all these plants and like fountains, and it was massive, and it was just for them, for their meditation practice, to connect with them or to connect with the universe. And I talked to even more people. One person was just talking about narrating the thoughts going on in your head and trying to focus on just the breathing, because like my head was going a million miles a minute. And so for them, they said, just think about breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. And like just narrating like what's happening and the sensations. And if you start thinking about something, saying, acknowledging it or letting it go. And so that way you can focus just on being present and being here. Somebody else was telling me about chanting, and they would be saying, Om. And it was funny because I started picking up that practice for a moment, and at that point in time I was doing all kinds of stuff in my apartment, working on all different kinds of projects, and so there were different noises coming from my apartment. And when I added that one, I was like, man, my neighbors must think I'm pretty strange. But chanting was nice. There's there's groups that do chanting together. I've tried I've tried meditating with friends in different settings there was some friends who came to stay with me, and they used to do group meditations with their roommates. And so when they came to stay in my place, we would all sit together and we meditate together in silence. Some people like reading a daily message and then meditating on that. One person was telling me they did walking meditations where they focus specifically on these movements as they're walking. For me, at one point in time, meditation became riding my bicycle. I was riding my bicycle to work, and I was really focusing on being present because I'm like paying attention to traffic and all the people, and it took a lot of concentration to be there and be aware of everything. And I was always trying to shave time off of my ride to work, so I had my GPS going to see like how fast can I get there. And for some reason by doing that, it helped me be more present because it got me connecting with everything happening around me. And I would start getting answers to questions that I was having at the time. At one point in time, I woke up in the hospital because I used to do a lot of partying and use a lot of different substances. And I woke up in this hospital, and I remember telling my sister that there's no way that I'm going to be able to show another being the same love that my parents, our parents, and my family and the rest of the world has shown me. And so from that day forward, I had written that off as a possibility, for myself. I was like, all right, well, kids are never in my future. And I'm there on this bike, and I'm biking. And I started a clothing business. I started a clothing line, and it was going terribly. Me and my business partner were fighting a lot. We had different ideas of where we wanted the business to go. I was also teaching at the time. And I was asking the universe, what is it that I'm supposed to be learning right now? I really love teaching these kids. Am I supposed to be a teacher? Is that my calling? Is that what I need to understand right now? And I got hit with this wave of energy, and it said, you want to be a father one day. And in that moment, I could know and I could feel that if I am a father one day, I'm going to be a great father. And in that moment, I started getting tears of joy because years ago I had written that off as even a possibility, and I'm there biking like I'm going to be a father one day. And I didn't have a girlfriend. I had nothing going on, no relationships like that. But like I said, now I know that if I am a father one day, I'm going to be a great father. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the universe has in store. But that's some of the things that meditation does for me. It helps give me answers by sitting with myself, as well as knowing for myself what's my truth. Am I in a situation that really doesn't serve me, that really doesn't belong to me? Am I holding on to something that I need to be letting go? Are you holding on to something that you need to be letting go? Do you have questions that need answers? Do you need to know your truth? Well, one thing that I hope is that if you're listening right now, that you have learned something about meditation. And also share in the comments what works for you or what doesn't work for you, because along my journey, I'm constantly growing and trying different things. Sometimes things work for me at one point in time and they don't work for me at another point in time. I tried guided meditations, for a little bit. Did them for a year. I had one friend, he puts on meditation music, and we did meditations together before we work on our projects. So we'd sit and listen, to some calming music while we're meditating. But sitting with yourself and sitting with your thoughts allows you to be more connected, more present. Acupuncture one time helped get me that same connection because I was feeling all the needles on my body. It made me really present inside my body and allowed me to feel that connection. And I'd get out of the acupuncture and I would be floating and feeling so good and feeling so full of joy for everybody in this world. So much love. I've gone to meditation workshops where people are practicing different breathing exercises. And that's always been pretty special. There's groups online where you can find that. Maybe you'll meet somebody who's into that. Anyways, I just want you to know that I love you and I hope you're doing well today. My name is Clem de la Creme. I look forward to seeing you next time.